Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Bornfree here. Thank you so much for the incredible positivity and support over the last few days. The Goichi interview, I was so excited to get that out because it was a Dragon Ball FighterZ interview. So I'm now doing Street Fighter and Dragon Ball FighterZ, and hopefully I can do more and more games. Because at EVO, I actually did Tekken and I did a bunch of anime games and all sorts of stuff. I love getting to know these players and I love, you know, doing that stuff so that you feel more connected to these players as well. Now, last year, you crowdfunded me to go to NCR and to Austin DreamHack. Now, that was your idea, not mine. I was incredibly humbled and so excited to do it, and I brought back some great interviews, I believe, including the infamous Bonchan one. This year, I'm in a similar sort of situation. I don't have the money or financial means that I had from years gone by, where I could just spend all my own money on flying out and lodging and all that sort of stuff. I actually need your help. Now, you guys told me to be more aggressive about this, so I'm doing that right now, and I'm asking you for your help. There's a Patreon link down there. Check it out. If you can give me $1 a month, 500 of the thousands of you, if you gave me $1, I'd have 500 bucks and I could probably make it to NCR. I'm sure I could make it work. But anyway, I've held you up. Check out this video. It's coming one of these ways. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Bornfree here, and I'm here with Rise MenaRD, Capcom Cup champion 2017. How the hell are you?
It's a pleasure to be here and be interviewed by you after watching so many and be like, well, one day he's gonna have to do it, right? And here we are.
That's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. Now, I mean, like, let's just jump into it. The first thing is obviously Capcom Cup 2017. How much has that impacted your life? How much has it changed your life?
Well, I don't know if it's public knowledge, but I didn't have much money, and neither my family had. Like, we weren't like super poor, but to travel and play, you know, we have to pay in dollars, so it's way harder, and we were really poor. But it all went away with Capcom Cup, so I don't have to say much about that. Like, if you went from poor to just be relaxed in life, my life changed completely.
So, like, you were chasing a dream, right? I mean, like, I don't want to be dramatic or anything, but like, did you ever feel like, I don't know, did you ever feel like this isn't gonna happen for me?
Well, yeah, actually. The first thing I was thinking about is how many more like Latin American players are more talented than me, and all of them failed. Like, nobody in Latin America had ever even like won a premiere. So I was like, why should I do it? Like, I'm not that special to do that. But I learned through the way that work beats talent. So I just worked really hard. Like, I stopped caring. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give my all. If this doesn't work out, I'm just gonna go back to my normal life and try to climb it. I don't know, but this is what I like. So it was gonna be a really sad story. But at the end of the day, with the help of my friends, my community, my family, we did it. And I still don't believe it. Like, I know I did it, but it doesn't feel right, you know? It's like weird. But it happened, so here we are.
Here we are. And you got a team, right? You want to tell me something a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I made the team name is Santo Domingo Tigers, and it's based on Dominican players because I want to show the talent we have in the island. And the gaming community there is pretty big. We're growing, and in Street Fighter we have so many talented players. They can be top players in the world for sure. We have so many of them, and I know in other games we have like League of Legends or FIFA. It's just that they need that extra push, you know. So I'm trying to do that.
Right. And I think that's really, really awesome because you're putting back into the community. So that's just that's an awesome thing to do. The two players that talk to me about the two players that you've got on your team.
Well, one of the players is actually my bigger brother. He's called Luiman20, and he's amazing Street Fighter. He told me, he taught me how to play Street Fighter. Actually, told me everything I know. and he's an amazing player. But life catch up, you know. Life just goes at you. He had a daughter. He has to work. He's married, and he didn't have a visa, so it's super hard. Yeah, he couldn't make it. Like, it's hard. He feels super proud that he told me how to play, and then I went and became the world champion. Like, he was crying that day. He was so emotional. My entire family was, but especially him, because he was like, okay, all my work didn't go to the trash, you know. Like, my everybody that told me my passion wasn't gonna happen, it happened. So I'm trying to see him do it now. You know, I want to feel proud of him, and he's the first player. The second player is Jochy. Is a great Akuma player. He's been playing for so many years. He has like 15 years playing fighting games, but again, he didn't have a visa. All this talent. People think we're new, but we've been playing for a long time. And he the first tournament he went to was the last chance qualifier in Capcom Cup. Mm-hmm. He beat Inaba, Doomsnake, Trashbox, and was going to beat Nemo, and he dropped that combo.
Yeah.
So, in getting 9 in that event, that was this guy has so much talent. So, they are the first 2 players, but they are not the only ones, you know.
I'm super excited to see how he does, you know, because I'm an Akuma fan, and I watched him very intently at the last chance qualifier, and yeah, you're right, he almost did it. So I'm excited to see what he can do today for sure. I think that's a pretty good player to have on your team. Now, let's talk a little bit about the new AE. What do you think of Arcade Edition? And I mean, what do you think of it in this iteration? What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it?
Well, the game is a good game. Like, it's controversial. Some people think the game sucks, or that the game is boring, or it depends on your taste, you know. I personally like the game. In DR, we love the game, and it's really mental. It's not about execution, that's for sure, but it's an amazing game. But for Arcade Edition, you know, balance is worse than it was before. Abigail, in my opinion, breaks the game. That character, he's not playing Street Fighter. Like, you can be the best player in Street Fighter in the world, but you're the best at Street Fighter. He's not playing that. You can lose.
Okay.
So Abigail, Rashid is super strong, but outside from Abigail, like, Rashid is pretty strong, right? Mm-hmm. But he's playing the game. Abigail, in my opinion, is playing something else. So the only thing I see that is extremely bad in Arcade Edition is that character. He breaks the game. And
can I just ask real quick on Abigail? Like, what would you nerf on Abigail to bring him back?
Here's the thing. He's supposed to be like that. Like, in my opinion, he shouldn't be in the game. Like, you can't make Abigail weak, because that will look silly. So the thing is, that character is supposed to be like that. I don't know why I decided to put Abigail in the game. Outside from that, there's some characters that need buffs, and beat triggers too are really weak, most of them. So yeah, they need it's just balance.
Without the throw loops, does the game feel very different?
Wait, yes, I was gonna talk about that. The game has something. Pad players are suffering from the some kind of delay. I don't know why. We make a normal move, right? We try to cancel, but it doesn't come out. So I don't know why the game is not working right for pad players.
For pad play, really?
Yes, and that's affecting us really, really bad. We all agree on that. And
so tell me again the actual issue.
Yeah, it's just that sometimes things don't come out. Like, it doesn't register the buttons right. I don't know why.
And you've talked to fight stick players, and they're saying like they don't have the issue?
Good. It's just bad players. And on PS4.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's interesting. It's certainly weird. Hopefully they'll sort that out. All right, so are you still I remember you tweeted like after Capcom Cup. It was kind of a funny tweet, but you were like, Birdie's not even my main or something. And I don't know if it was a joke, or like, I don't know if it was misinterpreted or if it was real. Talk to me a little bit about who are you playing right now? or how many characters are you playing right now?
Look, I love the community, but sometimes I hate the community. Sometimes I feel like these guys are so... Look, what happened is, in DR, I beat a top player with Abigail, right?
Oh, okay.
Abigail came out like 5 months ago, so I beat him, and we were joking about that, like, okay, Birdie's not my main anymore. It's actually Abigail. So that was really funny in DR, right? Yeah. I tweeted about that. People were like, oh, okay, before Capcom Cup. So I beat him again after Capcom Cup. I do the same thing, and people were like, oh, so you're saying Tokido is not worthy of your main character? What? When did I say that?
Yeah.
Like I'm cocky because I was joking. So people instantly said that, oh, he's saying that he won Capcom Cup with his secondary. I hope you get destroyed in Season 3. Look, I don't care if you wish I get destroyed in Season 3. I believe in my skill, so you can actually pray to whoever you want. I will still do good because I believe in myself. But I was joking. I can't believe, like, anybody else will do a joke like that and it would get so much backlash. But because it was me, I'm an asshole.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what happens, right? Like, you win Capcom Cup, and a whole bunch of baggage comes with it because you're thrown into the spotlight.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying... I mean, listen, that's why I wanted to clarify, because I thought it was a joke, and, like, you know, yeah. So, this season, actually going back to that, this season, are you playing just Birdie, or what's the deal?
No, I'm playing Birdie, a little bit of Abigail, learning, because I told you, he breaks the game. If it doesn't get nerfed, at the end of the day, everybody's going to play Abigail.
Okay.
But I want to clarify something. The last question.
Okay.
Even if I said, let's say I was saying it seriously, I wasn't, I was joking. But let's say if somebody wins Capcom Cup with Akuma, and he instantly says, Fang is my main. Yeah. It doesn't matter what he says. His main is Akuma because that's who he uses.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. But yeah, I want to say that. And
I mean, look, people counterpick and stuff like that. I don't think it's a big deal. I think what you've experienced is just being suddenly thrown into fame, and so you've suddenly got a lot of people. What I would call is whenever you joke or put something out there, you're going to get a lot of response, and you're probably getting used to that. It's probably still getting used to that.
Yeah, still getting used to that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so talking about the game itself, do you have any, apart from the button changes, do you have any hopes for, in the future? Obviously it sounds like you'd like to see Abigail removed. Do you have any other hopes for the game in terms of like mechanics or changes?
Yeah, I would like to balance the beat triggers. Some beat triggers are too strong and make the beat trigger too useless. Like Birdie beat trigger 2 is useless compared to beat trigger 1. So they have to balance that. And the online is terrible in this version. Yeah, that's basically it. The online and the balance. Then the game, I feel the game is really good.
Okay. And how do you feel about Birdie in this version? Has he got worse, or is he about the same, or?
He got worse. But basically everybody got worse. Okay. So he's kind of the same. He's like on the mid-tier, but on the upper hand of the mid-tier. Okay. So, yeah.
And then Abigail's just like secondary right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other characters you're interested in?
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of Akuma because I respect Tokido so much after Capcom Cup that I tried to understand everything he was doing frame by frame, and I started playing Akuma. So, yeah.
Well, talk to me about that. Talk to me about your preparation for Capcom Cup. Were there specific players like Tokido that you were looking into frame by frame, and how did you go about that process?
Well, Tokido, look, when I went to Capcom Cup, I was just thinking about Tokido. Like, he was the man to beat. That was the year of the demon. It was the year of the demon. In my opinion, he was the best in Season 2. But I was just thinking about him, and I got a pretty good Akuma in DR. That's Jochy. Yeah. So in top 8, I talked to my man Seijin, and he brought Jochy backstage. So we were actually grinding, and I was a bit scared because Tokido started doing all these weird things, like he started doing this and throw punches. I'm like, yo, oh my god, I was scared. I was really scared. And then he just sprints through the room, and even the guards, they were like, ooh. So Jochy came, and not only we were sharing info in the game, but he was like kind of mocking Tokido, so I was a bit more relaxed. It was like, this guy, what is he doing, or just trash talking a little bit, and I felt a little bit better. I was like, okay, Tokido is silly. But before Jochy, I was really scared. I was like, this guy is doing that. He has a reason. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so moving on, like now, like today's competition, right? Final round. Are there certain players that you, I don't want to say fear, but that offer you the biggest challenge, and who are they?
Well, in my pool, I got Yamaguchi, the Momochi student. I feel pretty confident in the Ken matchup, but I don't know why. I'm scared of that guy. I don't know why. Okay. It's weird. I feel scared of Yamaguchi. And after that, I got Fudo. That's one of the hardest matchup, in my opinion, that I can get player-wise.
Okay.
So yeah, Fudo, Abigail, yes,
characters. Anybody playing Abigail, basically.
Anybody playing Abigail, and Fudo are the hardest draws I can get.
Okay, so are there any other characters that give Birdie a hard time?
Yeah, Abigail.
Abigail.
Oh yeah, Abigail definitely destroys Birdie. Guile beats Birdie. In my opinion, Natch and Chun-Li give Birdie a hard time, but it's doable. Well, Guile and Abigail beat Birdie really bad, but I feel more confident in the Guile matchup. I got Kaba. In my opinion, he's the best guy in the world. Yeah. Even Daigo's here, with Knuckle Do, Kaba's here, in my opinion.
Okay.
But Abigail, it doesn't matter what you got. He hits you in the face, you're dead. So Abigail.
So we talked a little bit about, I'm sure you're going to tell me that it's your Dominican brothers. So let's take your Dominican friends out of the picture for a second. Who are your favorite players to watch at the moment?
Actually,
and why?
None of my Dominican brothers are my favorite.
Oh, really? Okay, good. Because I thought you were going to say Dominican.
No. It doesn't go that far. But Tokido. I like watching Tokido. I like watching Filipino Champ and Dynamo Cup. I like watching Daigo, but it's more of a bias because when people beat Daigo, they beat Daigo. So it's hype to see people like fighting Daigo just to beat him, and then he comes back and does some.
Did you watch Kemonomichi?
Yes.
Did that make you upset? I mean, how did you feel about it, basically? That's a better question.
I felt Tokido is pretty weak in the Gal matchup. That's what I felt.
Do you think Tokido and Daigo, do you think it's more psychological than technical? Or did you think that, did you really think that matchup was just too technical, a technical issue?
It's definitely Tokido's mentality. He sees Daigo as a better player. If you see somebody as the better player before you play with them, you're already lost. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a history which goes back a long way, and hopefully I get to talk to him about it this weekend. Now, let's talk a little bit about training. How do you train? Is it more of a community thing? Do you have your moments on your own? Like, do you spend time in the training room? A lot of online? Like, what is your training?
Well, it's more of a confidence thing. I train a lot of my mentality about being confident, and yeah, I usually just watch a lot of videos. I play a lot with my Dominican brothers, but the most important part is I changed my personality for the game. I became a way more confident person in whatever I do because of the game. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go so deep into this that I'm actually gonna change and be the most confident person I can be. Even if it might fail, I'm still gonna risk it.
All right, so tell me a little bit more about that, like, because that's not an easy thing to do, right? You don't just go, okay, now I'm the best, Do you? I mean, tell me. Like, how do you change psychologically? How do you change
No,
the way you think?
that was even before Capcom Cup.
Okay.
It's just that Dominicans, we mess around a lot, right? So what I try to do is to not fall into the mentality that the other player is better than me, because almost all these players have way more experience than I do. What I do is how do I say this? I think about them as a joke, like inside me, you know.
Yes,
I respect them a lot,
yes.
but inside my head, all they do is just that is wrong, and what they're doing is a bad decision. So inside my head, I just need to deal with their bad decisions and punish it. And for me to do that, I had to become a way more confident person and believe more in myself, because that was really hard at first. I was like, this player is too good. I can do that. But at the end of the year, I was thinking about, okay, I can definitely do this, because he sucks. But if I say like, okay, I'm really good, but it's Daigo, it's not gonna work. That's why it's really hard. So you have to think about, let's say, a legend like Daigo as a regular player, and that's really, really hard.
And how do you deal with pressure? So like a pressure situation, right? So like Capcom Cup, you're going to go on stage, you got pressure. How do you quickly get yourself into a situation where you feel like you're ready to play and beat people?
Well,
Do you have a method, or you still figuring that out?
no. I actually just. Have you ever heard what people say about if you're scared, just picture people naked?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
You do that?
I just picture everybody naked, and I just laugh. I'm like, this guy is a regular human.
Okay. I gotcha. It makes sense. All right. Well, it's pretty simple, but if it works, it works. Now, I want to know your thoughts on Sakura and Blanka.
Sakura, she's not good. She's trying to be a all-around character, and she fails in all areas. That's all I can say. Blanka, he's always been the same asshole, so he's still an asshole.
Fair enough. So he is as bad as he used to be. He's still that way.
He's still super gimmicky and a lot of damage and makes you angry. Yeah.
Oh my god. I had heard that he'd been toned down and wasn't so crazy, but
No.
okay. All right. Which of the characters coming up are you interested in? Any of the characters coming up? Falke, Cody, G, and Sagat.
Well, I'm really interested in G, because I heard he can turn into a gorilla, and I like wild characters. So if he does, I might play him. Okay. Sagat, because it's Sagat. I like the character a lot, and Kaba plays an amazing Sagat, so I want to see that. Also Bonchan. And Cody, he's really interesting. He seems different now with no cuffs, so I want to see how it plays out. Falke, it doesn't. I don't know.
They're saying that well, some people are theorizing that Falke, because it's the German word for falcon, and she has a stick, that she is going to play like Eagle. Remember Eagle with the stick?
Eagle. He was super boring. I don't.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But are there any other characters from the franchise from the past where you're like, I wish that character was in the game now?
That question.
That's a great question, right?
Yeah. Look, my favorite character of all time in Street Fighter, and if that character comes out, I'm dropping Birdie instantly, because I play that character in every single game. He is right. Mm-hmm. Is it Elena?
Really?
Yeah. So I play Elena in all the games, and if she does come out, she's my main character instantly. It doesn't matter if she's the worst. I play her at every single game.
What's the why are you so attached to that character?
It's her theme song. It's so good.
It's her theme song. Brilliant. Why not? Yeah, all I got with Elena is all I can hear is healing. When everybody says that word, all I can hear is healing.
Yeah, I don't use healing. It's lame.
Oh, really? Ah, interesting. All right, cool. So let's talk about general fighting games. Do you play any other fighting games at the moment?
Well, at the moment, no. But last year I was playing Injustice 2. I got top 16 at Evo and CEO, but it was a pretty brief season for me because Capcom Cup got in the way. So one time I had a CPT and an IPS event at the same time, and I chose the CPT event. And because of that, I couldn't qualify anymore. So I was just like, okay, I'll drop this.
Ah, okay. So who are you playing in Injustice? Which character?
Black Adam.
Okay, so you were doing pretty well with that.
Yeah, I have fundamentals of the game. I like it. And Injustice also smaller community, so it's a little bit weaker, but still pretty strong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have to deal with the Japanese discipline.
Okay.
Like if you win with something, they will just come back and beat you and destroy that technique. Yeah. But yeah, I like Injustice.
Okay. Are you considering any of the newer games this year? Like, is there any games that you think, yeah, I wouldn't mind like playing that?
Well,
maybe some of the ones coming out.
I really like Unio, and I like Injustice, but of the games coming out, I don't think so. I'm a Street Fighter guy, so, and since I'm trying to help my community, and my community is focused on Street Fighter, we're playing that at the moment. So yeah, I don't think I can play another game right now.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about shifting gears. You know, in this pursuit of excellence, right? So you were pursuing, like I said, you're pursuing passion, but more than that, you're pursuing excellence, right? You're pursuing like to be the best, the very best of the best. Okay, what has that taught you? What does this whole thing taught you about life? Like last year was a huge year for you, right? You pursued excellence. You had moments where you know, like had no money. You didn't think it was going to work. You were scared probably, and then all of a sudden everything changed overnight. You know, and your life has changed. Like, yeah. What are some of the things that this whole process has taught you?
That you should never give up. You know, I think life is about reaching the goals and being the best person you can be. So if you give up, you are accepting to having the life you don't want to have. You know, so like let's say if I have a dream of being an astronaut, I know it's really hard, but I can still keep in touch with that life. I can study I don't know, everything concerning the universe.
You can interview astronauts.
Yeah, you can.
That's what I do. That's how I stay in touch.
You can definitely just keep being around what you like, you know?
Yeah.
Like if I fell here, I was still gonna play in the R,
yeah.
Watch the streams, but you don't have to completely give up what you like because of, you know, life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Life, you know, you have responsibilities and stuff, but you can't lose yourself. So, yeah.
And I mean, that's very profound. It's certainly something that I've thought about a lot. What do you think is sort of like the biggest sacrifice you made last year in your pursuit of this goal, or sacrifices?
My biggest sacrifice was actually being apart from my family a long time, because when you have to travel a lot, you have to be away from your family. I could be like last year, I had a moment that I had 2 months without seeing my mom, and I never did that. I see my mom every single day, and I tell her I love her. And one time, I just randomly had 2 months without seeing her, and that definitely hurts a lot. I'm not a loner, so yeah. And also, having to do this is a stigma in the art. We don't, like, if you play video games and you reach a certain age, you're like too big to be doing that, especially in the Dominican Republic. Okay. It's a hard-working country, and they were like, you're definitely too big because of this. Yeah. You should stop doing that. Keep studying.
And you were only 18, 19 or 18?
18, and I was 17, and half of my college career was already done because I finished school at 15.
Okay.
So having to give up, like having to stop a little bit of my, like, let's say excellent school road, my path, having to stop it to do what I like is something that can seem as a wrong decision, and that can definitely affect your future. But thanks to God, this came out right.
All right. So on a little lighter note, do you talking of video games? Do you play other video games for fun?
Yeah, I play everything. I actually love Dead Space, Red Dead Redemption, Chrono Trigger. Yeah, I play a lot of video games.
Ah, see, I have Dead Space downloaded. I have not played it. I've downloaded like on.
It's an amazing game. Yeah.
Which one's the best one?
The first one.
The first one. Yeah, I have that. I think
it goes downhill.
I think I got it free on the Xbox. I like Xbox. I still have the Xbox 360.
Yeah,
so
you should definitely play it because the first one you are really slow.
What do you love about the game?
That you are really slow. Like you don't have the tools to deal with the monsters, so you really get anxious. You're like, I'm not enough. In the Dead Space 2, you are way faster and you punch like Flash, so you're not that scared now.
Yeah.
Dead Space 3 is just Call of Duty in space. So yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your life right now. Have you got any new like hobbies? You got any new films that you love? Got any new like I don't know, anime? Like what? Just something a little window into your life.
I've been watching a lot of Asian movies because I want to learn Japanese, especially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to understand their community, be able to talk to them. These are amazing players, and I want to see what's behind that. You know, the preparation, the mentality. If I can respect Tokido so much and I don't even understand what he's saying, what could happen if I could understand what he's thinking?
Yeah.
And I also been trying to slowly go back to boxing because this doesn't go along with fitness. You have to be sitting a lot. When you travel, you eat a lot, and you don't have much time to work out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go back to boxing and see if I can get back in shape, because I don't feel it at the moment. Like I'm overweight, but I don't feel the consequences because I'm young. But like when I hit 30 or something, I'm definitely gonna feel that.
It's really difficult when you travel. Like figuring that out is really difficult. Like even I struggle. It's like last night. You just find yourself, yourself in the middle of the night, not the middle of the night, but you late night, and you're like, what do I eat? And you go to the shop, and it's like you can buy a packet of crisps for like $10.
And in my perspective is that I'm Dominican and I'm visiting a new state every single time. So it's a different culture, different food, and everybody like the locals there, like you gotta try this. This is our culture right here, and you're like, I can't say no to that.
Yeah.
So.
It's tough, man.
It's tough.
I get it. I don't travel as much as you, but I totally get it. All right, final question is there anything that you wish I'd asked you, or is there something you want to say, or an announcement, or anything like that?
Well, I just want to say thanks to everybody that has supported me and that has supported the Dominican Republic. But let's say, if you don't like me or the way I play, or if you don't like my character, I get it. We're all humans. That can happen, but please don't judge my entire community because of the things I do. I can do some stupid things. I can definitely be mean sometimes. I'm human, But don't judge my entire community. My community is beautiful. My country is beautiful, and I don't want you to miss on that because of me. So thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
All right, so do you stream at all?
I'm trying to. I'm actually making the computer, building it.
Okay.
And soon I will start streaming consistently.
All right, so basically people should follow you on Twitter, and then,
they definitely should.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? It's been a huge pleasure. It really has. And congratulations on your victory, world champion, as it were. Capcom Cup 2017, and I hope this year is equally as successful for you. And I'm looking forward to see what your boy, your Akuma player, what's his name again? Oji. I always forget the name, but I'm really looking forward to see what he can do today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, peace out, guys. Take it easy.